Hey Raz. Yeah, I tried to mess around with Rumble before and the settings are all screwed up. I gotta sit down there one day and actually put like a couple hours into setting up the channel. I thought I could just stream and work. It's not working the way I wanted. I gotta set it up like YouTube, where I gotta set up a channel, I gotta upload a whole bunch of info, it's a lot of crap. I didn't even realize it. They don't set it up like YouTube where you just make a channel. There you make like your personal information and then you make channels off of that. It's weird. Oh well. Another time, later in the year. Yeah, I want to get this done. I just wanted to experiment with it, but it just didn't work out. Hey guys. Yeah, I was messing around with Rumble and it's a little bit, it's set up different. It's not like YouTube where you make a YouTube channel and then you're ready to go. It's like you have to set up a basic thing on Rumble and then make channels. It's weird. I gotta sit down one day and work on it for a few hours. Yeah, it went up, but I had to create a VinceVellCUSTOMS channel, even though it's on Rumble. It's weird how I gotta, like I said, I'm gonna one day like spend like set up a Sunday after I get all my taxes done this month, and just sit there and like upload the artwork, set up the channel, set up playlists, and do whatever I gotta do. There's more to it than just like how YouTube sets up theirs. Donna was always black hair, right? Yeah. You're thinking of Wonder Girl? And hello to everybody that's come in. Sorry, I'm not looking at the screen that's behind me while I paint. When I do this, the outfit, gonna do it like a gloss black paint from Pastel, and then I'm gonna sprinkle stars all over it like I done with my Captain Marvel stuff. That's pretty much it. I want to try to make it look like it's shiny outfit, because it always seems like she's glowing with that outfit. It's the entire outfit. That's just artwork that I threw up for the screen. Cleaned out my airbrushes today as well. Alright, so we got a little bit of spots I missed from the 3D print. So I prepped a lot of her this morning, but I missed a couple spots. Sometimes this 3D print stuff I don't really see too well when I get it to the green print area. But we'll get it fixed. These were probably where the supports were. This putty dries up fairly fast. And once I get the Rumble channel actually situated, then I'll try to get more streams on there. So you guys working on anything today? You guys being bums? Oh, that's right. You said you were moving. How's that going? Well, not moving, but... a little dust in here. Yeah, I think I gotta order some Aves too. I'm a little bit worried that supplies are gonna dry up again with this lockdown crap. Yeah, that's got to be a pain in the ass, especially if you have a lot of statues. I mean, I think we all kind of have that problem, especially if you collect a lot of them. This is why I miss garage kit paints. He will start sanding the stuff down right away. They're called key stop. A lot of hardware stores sell them. Home Depot by me doesn't carry the long rods anymore. But if you go over to like, you know, a hardware store, like if you have one that's called Tractor Supply, they usually have them. I'll grab a rod so you can see. I just picked up some the other day. So, National Hardware steel key stock, 3/16 by 12. Even though it says zinc, it's steel. They are magnetized. It's like zinc plated. So if you ever want to make sure, grab magnets, make sure they're magnetized, which they are. And if you want, I think this one's it. Is this the correct one? Yeah. So if you have KNS 8154 hollow brass rod, sometimes when you get these rods, they go into this with no problem. Other times it's really tight. So what you do is you could kind of just grind it down and smooth it out with, like, you know, sandpaper or a wheel or something. Because if you look at it, it's kind of grainy. I don't know if you can kind of see, it's a little bit grainy. Sometimes I just smooth these out, and then it'll go right into the rod with no problem. Get this back right here. Home Depot has them, at least the one by me has them, like if you go to like all the parts that are, you know when you open up your door handle to your front door or your bathroom door, inside there is a square rod. So if someone's ever throwing away like an old handle to a door, pull it apart, there's a square rod in there, it's about like that big. That's what those are used for. So when you turn your knobs, it doesn't like twist, it's a square. So at Home Depot, they sell them in the part section like that big, but they're very expensive, so you might as well see if you can find the long 12-inch rods like I got. Double check there's no stuff sticking out over here. Alright, one more coat, and I think we can start painting. Thanks, man, I appreciate it. I don't mind helping out. Any other questions, ask away. Well, if you like I said, if you're ever redoing your handles to your house, or someone else is doing it, or you see them throw away, open them up, pull out the rods. You could use them for statues. When I redid a couple door handles in my house, I gutted the old ones and used them for statues. Alright, got our base coat. So when you rebuild your house, you're going to build a nice man cave for all the statues. Hopefully you got that planned out. My stuff ever comes in, I can redo my TV room. Looking forward to getting that done before the summer. Alright, let's pull the camera down a little bit. Goes blank, bear with me. Not the best setup I have here. I don't know why that part's loose now. Oh well. It's kind of on the list is to set up a better camera setup here for this booth, so I could get my little table back. Alright, so I'm gonna use some of our skin tone. We're gonna do some of the mahogany burnt umber again, like yesterday's stream. Actually, let's no, it's not that one. Let's try some of the transparency brown mixed into this too. No, this is transparent brown oxide. See how this works. Yeah, customizer. I whatchamacallit, I had a little trouble on Rumble. I realized on Rumble, you set up an account and then you create different channels. It's not like YouTube where you create a YouTube channel. So when I started streaming, it wasn't really linked to the other account. It was weird. And then the other problem is I can't figure out how to monitor the stream, because on YouTube I have a special window opened where I can see all the background going on. On Rumble, I don't know if they have that. So I clicked off the window and I couldn't get back to it, so I couldn't figure it out. So I just figured I just wanted to paint today. I didn't want to dick around on a stream like that, so I said screw it. Just went ahead and came on to YouTube. I'll figure it out someday. But right now, I didn't feel like messing with it today. You know what it is, I'm at the age now where I don't really want to sit there and do all this super crazy stuff for streaming. I just want to turn it on and stream, and that's it. So, kind of where I'm at. Days of sitting at a computer and stuff, I just don't want to do it anymore. No, I like Picardo. Picardo is fine. What it is though is sometimes I have a chance to sit down and stream, and if I want to listen to regular music and do my own thing, I'll go on Picardo. And other times I'll stream on YouTube to show everybody. You know what it is? There's not a lot of people following me on Picardo too. And the problem is I don't have an account set up where I can save the stream on Picardo. I'd have to, I would have to record it through OBS. But then if I record it through OBS, I can't put it on YouTube because I usually play regular music. So and a lot of times during the day when I'm working, I'm in and out of the garage, so it's not a, what I do is not a very stream friendly type of a thing unless I invest in the cameras all over the studio and in the garage. And I would have to hit the buttons to everywhere I go, and just can't do it. Yeah, Rumble saves the file from what I can tell, and then it saves it onto your account. I have to figure out a better intro for Rumble, because you have to set up an intro video for each time you go live. Whereas YouTube, you just go live. I like streaming. I think it's fun. It's just that if I don't have an item to work on for a little bit of amount of time, you know, like I could work on an item for 5 minutes and then I have to go in the garage for like 20 and then come back and work on it. So that's the problem I run into. Yeah, well, you know what it is too? If I was a YouTuber, like if this was like my job and I was doing YouTube only, then yeah, I would have cameras in the garage, I would have cameras all over this thing, I would set it up for YouTube, but I am not a YouTuber, I guess you can say. I'm more of just streaming my hobby and the business and just sharing it with people. More than saying, okay, I'm a YouTuber, I have to make money off YouTube, I have to do this, you know. I don't do all that. You know, if you want to make money off YouTube and you really want to invest in it, it's a lot of work. It really is. You know, you start off with a camera, you build yourself up, and then before you know it, you need like editors, and you need to learn the editing and this and that, and yeah, it's not gonna happen with me. No name molding videos? Yeah, there's a couple molding casting videos I have. Check out go into the, I can check later what I remember. But yeah, I've done a couple. Making molds, casting. Type in those keywords to my channel. I'm not a professional at it, like to the point where I know exactly what I'm doing, but gives you an idea on how I do this stuff. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm an old type streamer, where, you know, the old days where streamers or YouTubers would just put up a camera and show what they're doing. But nowadays, you know, people have text-to-speech donations and flashy things going on the screen and all that jazz. Hey Dario, you can hit me through my website's contact page. I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze in any more projects for the year. I'm going through emails tomorrow for everybody that's waiting in line. But you could kind of run an idea through me. I'll let you know if it's possible, but I can't commit to anything as of now. Gotta try to get some of these hard spots. For this one, I sawed it off. Didn't I show you guys on the stream I was working on? I could grab one of the arms in a second. Yeah, I broke it off. Just want to get my base shadows in for right now. Give me a second. I think the arm that I broke off I threw away because I didn't even have the hand. I got this without the hand. So this hand's like this. Alright, so what it was is my friend met a John in Canada. He printed me out a whole bunch of sizes. So you can see this is the arm. So when her arm is outstretched, this shoulder got higher and was shaped different because the arm comes straight out across. So what I did was I chopped the whole entire shoulder off around there, and I put this arm on there, but I dremeled out a lot of the in here and stuff. So if you have your bicep that's close to your your rib cage, it's not going to stick out the item unless you wanted to, but I kind of dremeled in a little bit, and then I sort of rebuilt the shoulder so it looks lined up with this shoulder. Because what it was is this shoulder is extended outwards and upwards, so if you just put this arm on there and you don't line up the shoulder area, it would look off with this. So I had a lot of chopping and sanding and rebuilding up around there. It was really messy at first. It was like sticking up, you know, and then after I did it all, it kind of worked out. That's why I say customizing a statue, if your arm or torso or leg is twisted a specific way, you can't turn it the other way without redoing everything else, because, you know, anatomy, whenever your muscles are turned this way, these contract, these go up, those, you know, do different things. So you can't, like, move areas on an item unless the other areas go with it, and then it would look wrong. So this one I was able to tweak enough because it wasn't like her torso was twisted or anything like that. So I was able to rework this shoulder area. Highlights, you can do it a couple ways. You could dry brush highlights on there, you can sponge highlights on it, you can use some pastels. It all depends on the look. I try not to, it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what you're doing and what the item has. Does the item have texture? Doesn't it have texture? You know, stuff like that. So we're gonna mix some of the Garage Kits Transparent Pale and Bright Flesh. Gives a, if you go pale, it's orange. If you go Bright Flesh, it's red. But if you mix the two together, it gives you a little bit of a in between. No, this is Wonder Woman statue with the poison ivy head. I got the statue from somebody. I had a head sitting in the garage, so it's kind of an experiment. This project was a practice on the chest, the way the chest pushes the breasts in, before I did the Harley Quinn. So this was something I wanted to practice with first. Sometimes my side items I'm practicing for commissions too, so I don't want to mess up a commission, so I'll do it on an item to kind of practice first. Gives me a better idea of how to go about it. You could create your own texture with paint if you want to, so you can sit there and kind of create the texture and then build up on it that way, I guess. No, it's just streaming. As I said earlier, sometimes I can stream and sometimes I can't because I'm in and out of the garage, but I want to try to do some more streaming while I'm working on items this year. Sometimes I'm not in the mood, I'll be honest with you guys. Sometimes I just want to play some music and get in the zone on an item. But, you know, today I'm kind of in the mood to mess around a little bit more. So you can kind of see I'm just spraying real heavy, just getting in shades and messing around with stuff. I did stream yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. Usually everything goes onto the stream section on YouTube. So I know Saturdays might be better for people to view them. The only reason why I do it Fridays is because Fridays kind of the Patreon slash support streams to sort of let the patrons vote on the characters, work on them and stuff like that, and then other stuff I work on. Alright, so after I do my main shades, I kind of mist it down. Yeah, I wish my camera work was better for skin tones, but like I said, I keep blending and blending and blending. It's a lot of misting, it's a lot of hitting darker areas. Some guys paint light to dark, other people paint dark to light. So some people will paint their whole item in shadow and then build out the highlights. I build it with a base skin tone and I just blend. So I wish my camera work was better though. What I see and what you guys are seeing are kind of never the same. But I just suck at that. Yeah, the problem is I'm looking at it, it's not, but what it is since it's semi-wet, the camera's pulling it in like with a glow. Yeah, like I said, like what I'll do is I'll pull this over to the other camera and you'll see a difference, of course, because I got a lot of bright lights here. So you can see the difference between, you know, each camera. So I still got a lot more blending to do. There's a little bit like two darker areas over here. You know, stuff over in here I gotta clean up. But it's just a matter of getting in some colors, testing it out, seeing where I want to go with it. But it's got some work to go. Yeah, this statue wasn't that bad from Sideshow. I think it's just that they listened to the fans and they changed up the face, I think, in production, which I didn't like it after they changed it. And I think just a lot of people didn't like the way the leg was bent too. Right now I'm using the semi-transparency garage kits. Semi-transparency isn't really, it's kind of like a watered down version. So it doesn't really keep some of that shadow. So because of her chest, if you spray in there, you destroy it. So sometimes you got to kind of hit it at an angle. So you sort of keep that shadow in there a little bit. And you make it sound like it's a bad thing, Creative Collector. Come on. Help me help you. Yeah, I guess it was just a weird pose. I guess a lot of people weren't too fond of the pose. I don't know. I think the original head looked good, but something happened in production. Something happened. I'm not sure what, but... Alright, mixed up a little bit of a darker color in my, some parts I gotta clean up. Let's Yeah, this item was casted up too bad. It was, so if you have this statue, look at your leg here, and look at your leg over in here. If you look at it from the side, it looks fine. But if you look at it like from that angle, you might see like warpage. It looks like they casted up so many of them, the legs started to warp on them. And what I did with this one is I had to grind it down and get it nice and smooth. But if you looked at it from this angle, it's kind of like warping. I don't have another one of these, so. And also this part of the leg is warping too. Now I'm not saying it's warping where the leg is twisted. It's just that probably what happened is the mold starts to get funky and it doesn't have that nice smooth muscle. It almost looks like grandma legs, I guess you could say. You know, like all kind of old people legs. And it just looked really bad, so. Hey there, Serto. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hopefully your day's going well. So my cup, I mixed up a little bit more skin tone, browns, just trying to clean up some areas, darken some. So I'm always kind of just mixing in the cup, drop here, drop there to get a color I want. So this little spot here I gotta sand down, so I gotta kind of clean that up. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit it with some Tester's dull coat first. Get this, see how this dries up a bit. So let's do a little bit of pastel in this chest area. This way I can seal it again. And we can work on the face once I fix the hand. It's always hard to get underneath certain areas. especially. Hey Rukin, how's it going? Downwards. Alright, so there's a little spot here. I really didn't start to see till now. I don't like it, so I'm going to have to try to sand this off. Getting cold here again. We had that nice little heat wave after the deep freeze, but now it's getting cold, so my heat's been kicking up. And we've been getting rain too. I don't know what the hell's going on. Deep freeze one day, freezing cold the next, raining all week long. Trying to get underneath this finger. Wow, that's a long time. I can imagine though. That must be a pain in the ass. I know when we had that, what was it, Hurricane Irene, I think it was? I know people lost their damn minds by me because they couldn't get on the internet for a week. This is some transparency P3 formula flesh. Just kind of giving a little bit of a tint. So I'm going to go back to the original color and water it down. Hit it with some dull coat again. Trying to take down some of this harsh shades. Alright, I think that looks pretty decent. Let's pull it over to the other camera. Yeah, I did the metal rod for these pieces. That's what I practiced on this before I did it to the Harley. There's some areas I gotta kind of get in here with some pastels, take it down a bit, so you can see how it's kind of one kind of shade going across. I might want to try to take this down a bit. It looks good from straight on, but let's get some pastels in there. Well, at least you're busy, Raz. Could be worse. So I'm just throwing some pastels in here, jamming it in these corners because I can't get paint in there without screwing it up. Not going a heavy dark either, just a lighter. I used the wrong one too, son of a bitch. Mother... I scraped it. Damn it. Oh well. A little bit of fixing. It's probably a good reason. Good thing I did scrape it because I gotta clean it anyway. It's not paint. It's women's makeup. It's like pastels, but without having to grind it yourself. I don't like using pastel sticks because it's just too it gets too grainy, and sometimes you get these chunks on there and you can't get those chunks off, so don't like to normally airbrush over here, but gotta. Pastels are okay if I guess you get used to it, but I hate sitting there trying to grind the pastel to make a powder, because sometimes there's little chunks, so if you want a nice fine powder, all of a sudden you get this chunk on there and it spreads really harsh. I'm just not a fan of it. The only thing with pastels, from what I've gathered, when I used to do like a lot of the artwork in art school, you get what you pay for. So if you buy cheaper pastels, it doesn't look good and they give you issues. But if you spend the money on them, you can have better quality pastels. This without breaking my needle. Sorry, just kind of blending out that chest area because it was too messy underneath. This is kind of the pale flesh, giving her a little bit more of a orangey tint since I took a lot of it away. Trying to create a little bit of a shadow around those edges so it looks like it's pushing in a bit. Just getting there. Donna Troy, I was just trying to mess with. I've always kind of wanted to do this version of her because of the the 52 series. I liked her in this outfit and what they did with her. Not the new 52, the 52 leading up to 52. She had this outfit on, and she played an important role in some of the stories, so it was kind of good. So I always wanted to take a shot at it. Rind flesh, yes, I use it all the time. Yeah, I have the Rhineflesh P3. I mix it in here with some other colors, so it's not... The Rhineflesh I like out of the bottle if you want to kind of follow almost Sideshow stuff, because Sideshow's got that, like, it's got that kind of, like, flat skin, not really, like, fair, but I like to mix other colors in there to give it a little bit more orangey, different color. But the Rhineflesh is not bad right out of the bottle, so if you guys are looking for a good flesh, this Rhineflesh isn't bad at all. If I want my character to be more like darker, I will use this, and I'll also use their this color's good from P3, which is the can't see, Midland Flesh. So the Midland Flesh is kind of like more of a like a tanner color, which is actually really good if you want a little bit darker skin. Like if this is your base coat and you go darker shades, this is not a bad color. Ronin? I'm pretty sure Ronin stuff is being in the works everywhere now, since it's a very popular character. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of Ronin stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm going to force some highlights here and there. Trying to just go back in certain areas. I'm using the transparency flesh tone from Garage Kits. You don't really need to go too crazy with it. Alright, so let's try and do some pastels on the face and see if we can darken that a little bit more. I don't like it's too shiny. I'm doing all the skin tone first. So what I'm trying to do is get everything with the skin tone done first, and after that I think I'm going to do the outfit, and then I'll do the metal bracelets, the hairs last, because the way I work always is the skin is the bottom part of the item, then the next part up is the outfit, and then the armor, and then the hair, because the hair is on top of everything. It'll be a pain in the ass to do the hair and then mask off all the hair around here just to do the outfit, when you can mask off the outfit easier. You know, so I always work from the bottom of my item upwards, which means skin, cloth, hair, hat, jacket, whatever. Just keeps going upwards. That's how I work. Alright, so I brought this over into the other light and I saw an issue right away. I don't like it. It's just this part over here. A little too dark there. Yay, spam's going. Alright. Yeah, eyes are always last because the eye decals, if you're not careful and you put silly putty on them, you can rip them off. So it's better for me to do eyes at the end. So don't be afraid to turn in different directions. I need a better paintbrush. Let's see here. If we can use this one. Alright, so like I say, I always have trouble getting into these. So, because you have two rounded areas, when you spray into this, if you spray this way, it kind of hits that side. If you spray this way, it hits that side. If you spray in the center, you know, trying to do your blending, it kind of hits here. So, sometimes you just can't avoid it. So, this is where pastels kind of help me without trying to go crazy. Now, instead of using just a crazy dark color, you know, instead of just going straight dark, you could go like lighter browns, just to darken, so it doesn't have that shine in the center here. Just so it looks a little shaded. And once you dull it down too, it'll kind of go away, but I don't like to have that weird little sheen in there. After all, this is the focus on her right here, so you want this to look clean. You don't want that being messy. It's the most important part, right? And if Creative Collective is still in the chat, she knows as well. The most important part. Attention to detail. Okay, now as far as the eye makeup and stuff goes, we're going to try to make her look pretty without going crazy. Yeah, so I use these. I get these off of eBay. Eyeliner makeup stuff. You get them in bulk for a couple bucks. And they go to hell right away, but they're great for like right away messing with something. And of course, if you got like these for makeup too, they're good for pastels. So don't be afraid to snag a couple if you're working on statues. The cell shade stuff will work. I personally don't do it. I like it, but for the way I paint, and if it was for my collection, I wouldn't want to own one. But I like what people do with those, because I remember I went to Wonderfest, and I think somebody did a Superman in the cell shade, which looked really cool. I liked it, but it's not something I want to own, because it just feels like a cell shade item is more of a drawing to me. And I would rather have that on a drawing on my wall than an actual statue. But whiskey on a weekend? I guess that's good. As long as you're happy. Just don't get too bamboozled today. So I always like to do the smoky eye effect. Try not to go too black anymore unless it calls for it. And then, oops. Start recording by accident. Alright, so use some of this lighter stuff first, make sure it's not too crazy, and then sort of go under the eye area too. I'm a lightweight myself. I haven't had a drink since my 30th birthday. Not that I'm just not good with alcohol and I don't enjoy it. I'd rather have a gallon of Italian ice than the drink. I got a sweet tooth. That's why I was always the designated driver. Wow, not 30 years ago. Maybe 15, but not 30. Give me some credit, damn. It was a rough 30th birthday, what can I say? After that, I kind of said, okay, that's enough. Yeah, some of their older stuff is better, but can't do any sexy stuff anymore. Not allowed to. Yeah, I'm always trying new stuff with the flesh tones. I know there's guys out there that do the super realistic stuff, which is amazing. It's not really my thing. I've just been trying to do better with faces lately. Trying some new stuff. Been studying some women's makeup too on the side just to kind of get used to how they sort of do it. I still like this OG Poison Ivy. I think it's one of their better statues. It's sexy. It's got a really great body to her. I always like Newman's work. But yeah, I remember you saying that, Rukin. It's just a matter of just painting it up and what I was going for. That's all. I have to just hit this area a little bit. Well, I think paint-wise, most factories, you know, you always get hit or misses. Sometimes the items are amazing sculpts, but the factory screws up the paint, and other times the sculpts are but the factories do a great job. Like, for instance, I think the Jean Grey heads, the Jean Grey statue, the faces were beautifully painted, but the rest of the statue was kind of bland. I think the Power Girl head sculpts were amazing, but the factory screwed up the paint. See what other statues that are here. You know, the Storm statue was great. The face was painted well, but the sculpt of the hair looked weird. So it's like one thing or another, something's gonna be a little off, you know? So I'm trying to give her rosy cheeks, a little bit on the nose. Trying not to give her too much eyeshadow, because once I paint up the eyelashes, that'll kind of go away. See, I'm just, you know, adding the little rosy cheeks and stuff like that starts to bring it together. So what we'll do is we'll add some of the eyes now. We'll start building it up. If there's any dust that gets in the eyes and stuff, it'll kind of help it, I guess, a little bit. Golden Boy, I've done plenty of different skin tones. I've done Storm's skin tones. When I start painting up the Psylocke statue I'm working on, we're going to try to do more of a, like a yellowish skin. Let's see, sometimes people want fairer skin. So a lot of the times it's what the clients want too. So it's not always what I'm choosing to do. So sometimes people want lighter skin, darker skin, more brighter. I try and change it up here and there at times. I always try and mix up a bottle too, a fresh bottle of paint for every statue, so no item is always exactly the same. No, this Donna Troy is just for something on the side. Just going to something to get done and out the door. It's going to be an eBay item. Nothing too crazy. It was a side item. So I was doing tests on this for the tests of the Harley Quinn. I didn't want to just do it on the Harley Quinn directly. I wanted to practice. So that's how this one came to be. Yeah, the poison ivy was bad. I'll say it too, as far as a factory. But the repaints that I did on her for people, it really they really look better. And I like the statue though. I think it's a great custom item. It just takes a lot of work to get all those leaves off. But once you get all those leaves off, it really can be a great statue. Also, there's one thing that's important to you guys. If you guys are painting eyes, when you're done putting on eye decals, or if you paint your eyes, try not to glob a whole clear thing of clear over your eye. There's two items that I'm working on, and I guess somebody else worked on them. And what happened is, I guess after they were done, they put a drop of clear something on the eye. And what happens is, you have your eye socket, right? That's sculpted. And then when you put on that drop, the drop goes above the eye. So if you ever have to repaint it, what happens is, if you try to do it, you're working on like a glob of clear instead of the eye socket. So at the very end, a simple like let's see. Just grab like a simple gloss varnish and just kind of paint over the eye a little bit. Don't drop like a whole drop of eye. That kind of, if you ever have to go back and fix it up, what'll happen is you'll run into that issue. Which Scarlet Witch? Oh, the second one, yeah, that one was a lot of fun. That one was a fun little project. With they should have done in the beginning, but not allowed to do that. That's alright, the more Sideshow and DC and Marvel tells them to tone it down, I can tone it back up, I guess you can say. Keeps me going with fun projects. Well, the other thing too is about the Scarlet Witch is I never liked her with the skin, without the skin up top, like that pink, like the whole outfit's like a pink outfit, and then she's got a corset on over it. I always liked her up top being like just skin showing, so that's why I redid that. Plus, I didn't like the Ultron in her hand. That looked a little odd to me. But it was a fun custom. It's a good statue. It just needed to be spruced up, I guess you can say, without getting in trouble on the platform. I've had a couple other people ask me to do their Scarlet Witch like that. I got so many other people ahead of everyone, so I can't. But it would be nice. It would be fun to do more of them. I think if I really could dive into the Scarlet Witch, like really dive into it, I probably would have tweaked her booty too on her. I didn't like the way it was, but then I would have to repaint. Probably could, but just didn't. There's always a lot of things you can do. It always comes down to time and effort. Is it worth it? You know, stuff like that. Yep, I'm gonna do the star effect on her. Probably not today, but definitely star effect. Raccoon? Probably. I don't think, I'm well received from the company, so... Or I'm just, I don't know. Honestly, probably just don't even care. Then again, maybe I say stuff they don't approve of, but whatever. Although maybe the tweaks I do to items, they laugh because that's probably what they want to do, but they're not allowed to do by the company. You know? I'm pretty sure they want to do a lot of stuff that would sell, but probably just not allowed to. Rukin, if you go onto my channel and you type up Scarlet Witch, you'll see what we're talking about. I took the item and I kind of gave her a little bit more of a bust. Yeah, the only problem with the Poison Ivy is her body is made to be up around her being stretched. You can't pull those muscles downwards on the sculpt to make them down. You have to keep those arms up. So, like that's what I was explaining earlier. If the sculptor sculpts the anatomy a specific way, you can't bring that into another way without re-chopping all of that anatomy. So you really can't do that. It's gotta stay within the, you know, because, so if you have your, so say that's your skeleton, your spine, and this is your torso here, you know, this is your shoulder and this is your hips. If you have your hips like this, your shoulders go like that. And if you do it the other way, it's never like this really. It kind of goes like this. So if you do a position like this, but you want to bring this arm down, you have to kind of do that, and it doesn't work. You know? To do on live streams? Well, today's kind of just messing around with this this one, but on Fridays, I try to keep it toward the Patreon votes. I have a Patreon, and I like to let the people vote on the character whenever I find a cheap broken statue, and then I try to like do Fridays just to work on that item. on one second. I'd have to see what you're talking about. I don't know that statue really. Alright, on to our lips. So, let's, Alright, so lately what I've been trying to do with lips without just doing a straight hard look onto it is sort of give it a little bit of a blend. I mean, I will go in with some paint, but I don't think we'll do a heavy lipstick. At least I'll try not to. First of all, well, normally when I paint, I try to do a, if I'm gonna, I've been able to practice this more and more by going this route with my paints, but if you feel that you might make mistakes and you want to remove stuff, give yourself a good flat coat of Mecha varnish or some kind of coat, and then if you do heavy paint, so there's two things. If you do heavy paint and it doesn't like soak in your item, like say you do a very light wash, what happens is your color blends in all those little crevices and you can't really pull out that black. But I did those whatchamacallit, those eyebrows fairly thick paint, just like thick paint without thinning it down. So I was able to sort of pull it up a little bit, but if I want to pull those off completely, I won't be able to. But if you do like a layer of varnish or something, you might be able to get away with it. It doesn't always work. I don't want her teeth to be pure white, but I don't want it to look like she smokes 20 packs a day. So let's do that. So I've been using, so that's the brown. Where is the other one? So I've been using the Freak Flex stuff. So this is the maroon tint. Not bad for doing like a slight layer of wash on her lips. Trying to stay away lately from just taking a glob of red paint and just put like a red paint on the lips, unless it's like calls for the item. So now I've just been trying to do more washes and pastels. Trying to keep her a little bit more natural lips than go super crazy on it. Well, I added the choker onto it. I was gonna make it removable at first, but then when I decided to go with the longer hair, I figured I had to. So, oh, I think it worked out pretty well so far. Her lips are, it's the underneath part I gotta clean up. Yeah, I'm not really wasn't really a fan of the new 52, but the 52 story leading up to it was good. I don't know what they were thinking with the new 52. That didn't last long at all. Dry this up a bit. Still a little spot that's bothering me. Oh, I gotta get it off camera. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so I think that's pretty good for the face. Like I said, this little spot here is bothering me, but let's try it with the pastels to clean this up. I think that'll work. Let's kind of bring out the collarbone a bit. What's going on here? Alright, I think that's looking good with that. Let's see, I want to get some pastel, some darker pastel underneath here. Just because I couldn't hit that spot. I think we're looking good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. What do you guys think? It's not overly done, but has like at least a little bit of younger look to herself. Alright, so I did a lot of that pastel work. She's got to be sealed, so we got to do the sealing process because I don't want to screw this up. Plus the pastels will come off. Let's see, in this light we're looking pretty decent. Alright, so one thing to be careful of, let's first of all get all my paints closed up. I think after the stream I'll send Jesse an email, see if he's got any paints in, get an order going. Alright, so we got our matte varnish and we got our car paint. So I do this pretty much for all my skin tones because I am paranoid that I might scrape it and or they might go to hell on me, so I go above and beyond always. So one thing to be careful of whenever I do a clear coat, just in case you don't have any like different color paints in your cup. Now I cleaned this today, so things are going good. One thing that sucks, if you spray your clear coat on here and then you're gonna go spray your varnish, sometimes if you don't clean out your cups enough or you use an airbrush that's got some caked up particles in here, it'll grab to your varnish, and when you spray it, you'll get like a glob of red or blue or whatever paint you're using. So that's always something to be mindful when you do your clear coats. So if you have to, get your varnish in your cup right away and just spray it on like the wall. Make sure it's spraying out and you're not going to screw up your item. So kick on our booth. Clear it out. I'm spraying close, but I'm not spraying heavy and letting it bleed. I'm just giving it a good, nice coat. Stuff stinks to all hell. I'm gonna open up the window. We want to protect that chest, so make sure all that's situated. So normally I used, like I said yesterday, I used to wait a lot, but now I kind of get in there and dull it down so the dull coat sort of bonds with it. Alright, so there is a spot here and here I don't like. I haven't had a problem with going back in with a little paint and then do a little bit of dull coat over it. So I'm going to do that real quick. Just a little tiny spot. Just to make myself happy. That's what I wanted. Okay, so then I'll go back in there with my dull coat. Alright, so that is dulled down, sealed. I always like to let that dry for a night. I don't like to push my luck on it. You know, another day I'll do the trim, and then we'll wait for another stream or whenever I might do it again one night just because I want to get this done. So let's do the hands, because we have to do the fingernails later. The reason why I taped up our hands too is because I wanted this to be smooth as possible for the chrome work. Usually I do chrome first, but it won't be a problem if I do it this way. And I'm not going to do crazy chrome. I'm going to do like more of a gunmetal chrome. Alright, let's let that dry up a bit. Yeah, I gotta contact Jesse, see if he has this stuff. Because I think sometimes you can order it, but it's not in stock, so you're on a wait list. I want to order specific stuff and have him ship it like next day, so I'll contact him. Oh, you got the Talia kit? Is it put together? I know people are still looking for that one from what I remember. I mean, if you have it and you don't need it, you could sell it, probably get a nice chunk of change now. At least I think. I haven't really talked to a lot of the guys that are in the hobby as much as I used to. But if they're still out there collecting, it's possible. Oh, you still have the kit? Yeah, that's somebody will buy it from you. If you go into like the Garage Kits Facebook page, if they have a sales section or like Wonderfest section, Jersey Fest, I'm sure you could put it up on the marketplace and someone will probably snag it from you right away. I only built one of those kits. Or did I build two? I think I built one. Only one. If it was a 1/4 scale, it would be like a super hot item. But since it's 1/6, a lot of people I know wanted it, and when I told them it was 1/6, they were like, "Ah, it won't go in my collection." But just cleaning up a little bit. Can't let my airbrush get clogged on me again. No, I've never seen a 1/4 Talia either, but I do know that that kit, well, if you ever run into some cash issues and you need to get rid of it, I'm pretty sure it will sell. Alright, I'll bring her over to the other table so we can take a look at her. I'm pretty happy with it. Not sure how the lighting is, but yeah, camera seems to be a little bit grayish, but in person she's got more of a reddish color. Let's see if I kick on the light. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, now that I got paint on her, the head actually does fit the body pretty well. It's got kind of a younger look to her, I would say. A little bit younger. I don't want to put the arms on her because I don't want to scrape up anything yet. I'm going to let her dry. Now, whenever I do this type of stuff, I let it dry for the day and I walk away. And not think about it for a day or two and come back. And then if I feel that there's a spot that I'm missing or a spot that needs to be corrected, I'll correct it. Sometimes, one of the things I learned in art school was you can work on a thing for like 8 hours and you're not seeing the problem. And then when you walk away from it and come back a day later with a fresh mind, you see the problem. So there might be a couple things here and there I'll have to tweak. Yeah, it's the Wonder Woman premium format. You can kind of... If you look at the legs, the base, so I made a custom base. Well, I took the base and chopped it up. So she's, it looks like she's at Themyscira, you know, but it's not a crazy base with all that weird shit that they had on it for Wonder Woman. But now she also fits in a Besta, so... Yeah, the one thing is I know she has earrings, but this hair goes over the ears, so that's right. Yeah, so I might have to go in and tweak some stuff. I thought about giving her a little bit of eyeshadow, but I kind of like the natural look there, because I don't want to do heavy black eyes on it, if you can kind of see. Kind of look like the way it looks. It was fun sculpting though, so... yeah, we can definitely do that down the line, Jacob. Oh yeah, I guess I'll show you something else I worked on this week. So that Dark Phoenix base that I made. So this is a factory paint up head. This is an old head. And what I did is I repainted heads for the guy. So I gotta just do the hair. So you can kind of see the difference between the two. See, the factories always do this like, it's kind of like a raw sienna yellow. I'm not really a fan of that yellowish skin. But, you know, I kind of did the Phoenix heads like this. It's got a little bit of a glowing eye to it. Yeah, I like, you know, I like factory stuff when they have the reddish, like the dark reddish skins. but this one has like this yellowish skin, and they also did that with the Power Girl, the body, but not the face. Not a fan of that yellowish stuff to it. But like I said, this isn't a bad head. A lot of people hated these heads. I think they look fine. It's just that they just need a little bit of a little love to the face, that's all. So I'm almost done with these, so the base and this goes to the client pretty soon. We'll get those done. Is Raz still here, or did Raz leave? So as far as Harley, I guess while a bunch of people are here, kind of talk about Harley real quick. Alright, so I'm running into a little bit of an issue with Harley. A little bit of an issue. Just get some of your feedback on this one. Oh, he had to go? Alright, that's fine. So, what the hell is the... Alright, so I'm running into a little bit of an issue. Trying to... So we talked about how we're going to do a, like a big baton. So if I put these hands in here, right, they're not really... It's very hard to find hands for a baton, you know, that make it look right. I know they're up a little too high. They got to come down a little bit more like this. So I'm not sure if I should, like... put the hand like this and maybe put them in like that instead. It's not working the way I was hoping. It's very hard to get hands on that site that would work with this, you know? So I'm wondering if I should just use the hands that came with her but do something with that instead. It's just not working out the way I was hoping. So this is the hands that came with her, right? So that works. See, that's the way it's designed. See, what it is, it's designed where this is lining up with the neck. Now the problem is if we go larger, it's pushing the hands backwards. So the hands would be more like this. It's like more of the palm. So if I cut this down, and then I cut this down like that. Let's go in the garage and cut it. I'm gonna cut it at the 4. I got plenty of this pipe. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll do a post tomorrow and see. It's just not working correctly the way I was hoping. These hands just don't really. It kind of hits her head. Like it has to go down more. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a post on Patreon and see if anyone wants to do something more with this. Maybe we can utilize this and come up with something else. What did you say? A sniper rifle? Nah. I want to keep her more of a... Another idea, let me see, I think I have them in my head. there's also the idea of a baseball bat, right? See, I could probably... No, it's actually almost hitting it. I don't know. I'll make a post tomorrow on Patreon, see if anyone's got some options, because it's just not going to work correctly. The hand's just not going to work. Yeah, it's more of a Patreons. They got to vote on it, so I want to make sure they're in the loop. So I want to see what they say. You know, I don't have to keep the collar pieces. I can, you know, I could cut these off and do you know, a different connection, but something that's got to go here, I think we have to change. I would like to do the baton, but it's not going to work. I could do the baton, but it has to be, it can't be as big as I want it. And this hand has to hold something on the baton. So maybe I could do something different where we keep the baton small at the edge, and then it gets bigger. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to run it through the ideas on Patreon tomorrow. I'm going to do some looking on that CG Trader site. Maybe there's something that I can utilize. I don't think a baseball bat would really work with the theme of the character. If I do a different mallet, I would do definitely something different on that sense. You know what it is this is the character Raz chose, and he knows a lot more about it than I do. So he may have something that we can utilize up here that goes with the theme. So we'll work on it, but... And I haven't had a chance to sand it down, too. I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to get in here and sand all this stuff. So what happens with projects. Sometimes they go smooth, sometimes you get stuck, you know. So that's why I try to hash out everything in the beginning, because I hate going into it blind and not knowing what to do. And the other thing, as far as Psylocke goes, I'll just kind of run down since I didn't do this stuff yesterday. I did work on her sash a bit, but what happened was something else came up and I had to get back on the other stuff. So get her head in here, come on. Alright, so I did a little bit of an extra piece here because I had extra A's, so the hair kind of comes down a little bit more. So I did a little bit more there, and I did do, so I had extra A's the other day, and I put the rod in there with some glue, and I got this piece in here, and I was sanding this down, and like I said, something came up and I didn't finish it. But starting to get the sash going in and out. So it's got like a little bit of a flow like the hair. So they're coming along pretty well. But I think I want to do a little bit more hair over here, over the shoulder. So we'll figure that out next week. I got to do sanding on these two and get them cleaned up and ready for the next stream. But sash is coming along pretty well. So what I need to do is I need to cut in a, it's kind of hard to see. So you see I did a little notch here, and I did a little notch over there. I'm going to put some A's in there, and that'll help it so if this ever gets loose, it doesn't pop out. just glue in here will actually, this will pop out, and this will be a pain in the ass. So I just put a little bit of, I gotta just get a little eaves in there. And then what I need to do is I need to Dremel a hole through the metal that we bent in here. So if this is here, I'm probably gonna Dremel the other part of the sash like right here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, well actually it would be right about there. I'll put a piece of metal in here, a rod, and I'll bring a rod around this edge. So this way these two will lock into place, and then we'll have two sashes that won't bend, and you'll be able to pop it in and out. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then what I might end up doing too is put a little tiny oil residue. I got this, not oil, I got this grease. I'll probably take some grease on my hand and just kind of get a little bit on there, and then this way it won't rust out on anything. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, so I didn't have a chance to work on these, to sand them down. It's just been too busy. But, and then Donna next to Harley in scale looks pretty good. Alright, that's where I'm cutting the stream today. I am tired. I'm going to call it a day. Got a lot done, but I'm hoping I'm going to try to work on her during the week, so maybe I'll do some more streaming, or I might do Picardo. I want to get her done. So if you guys are not on my Picardo, sign up on there as well. I'll link it right now. This way, never know when I'll do a stream on there. Where the hell is it? Yeah, I'm going to try to do some changing up this year. Saturdays, maybe Sundays, even weeknights. Just when I'm ever in the mood and I got time. So I gotta have more energy this year. But, alright guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good weekend. And during the week, I'll be streaming either on Picardo or YouTube again, just to try to get her done. So have a good weekend.